Hello there, it's Margie from Bubbles and Fairy Tales, and I'm here with part 2 of Book Haul for October. Please excuse my voice and my stuffiness. I do have a cold right now. Actually, everybody in the house has a cold right now, and things are just a huge hot mess over here. But the older boys are watching a movie and the baby's napping, so I want to take the opportunity to hop on real quick and record a book haul, since I do have a third part that I need to record soon. There are quite a few books in this haul, so I'm just going to jump right in and get right to it. I received a children's picture book from Penguin, and it's called The Animal Santa by Jan Brett. Jan Brett is most known for her beautiful illustrations and also one of her well-known picture books called The Mitten, with a similar beautiful winter-themed storyline. And like I said, Jan Brett delivers on her beautiful illustrations. As you can see, the main panel tells the main story, and then on the sides of each page there's these smaller panels that tell a smaller story right along with the main plot of the story. And adult or child, you're going to enjoy this book. The illustrations are gorgeous. You're going to want to try to figure out who Santa is right along with them. Definitely something to pick up and have a holiday treat with your little ones. The next 5 books I received from Macmillan. The first one that I received is The Queen of Bright and Shiny Things by Anne Aguirre. I've only read her Mortal Danger book, and I've also read the first 2 books of her new adult trilogy. And I am getting used to her writing and I'm starting to enjoy it, so I'm really looking forward to this. It's a contemporary book, which I believe is a first for her in the young adult genre, and it's being released in April of 2015. The next book that I received from them is Boys Don't Knit in Public by T.S. Easton. This one's being released in March of 2015. This one sounds hilarious. It's about a kid who gets into a whole lot of trouble, and he has to do some community service, and I don't know, part of the community service he has to take like a class, and the only 2 classes available is either a knitting class or a mechanics class, which his father teaches. He doesn't want to take his father's class. He decides to take the knitting class, hoping that the class is being taught by the hot teacher. Little does he know that when he gets into class, it's not the hot teacher who's teaching it, but he decides to stay and stick it out anyway, and then it turns out that he's just a natural knitter, and he really enjoys it and he really likes it. And then even after the class is over, he decides to continue on with it, and then his only struggle is to keep his new hobby hidden from his friends and his crush and his father, who is very manly and, you know, the soccer coach and things like that. So it sounds like a really funny read. The next book that I received from Macmillan is Dream a Little Dream by Kerstin Gier. This is the first book to the Silver Trilogy, which is being released in January of 2015. I don't know too much about this book. All I know is that it's about a girl. She has like these weird dreams, and in these dreams sometimes she sees these 4 boys that are in her school or her class, and she starts to wonder if there's a connection, because she's heard rumors that they do dabble in magic and things like that. So she's starting to wonder if somehow, some way they're going into her dreams, because they do know things about her that normally nobody else would know. So it does take place in kind of a school setting, I believe, maybe, and there's also like updates of a blog that someone is keeping. So it looks really interesting, the cover is really, really cute, so I'm really looking forward to this one too. The next book that I received from Macmillan is I'll Meet You There by Heather Demetrios, and let me tell you, the letter to the reader from the author made me cry. It's just absolutely beautiful. So I definitely know already that when I read this book, I am going to need a box of tissues next to me. It's being released in February 2015, which I think is the perfect time of year for this type of read. This book is about a girl who is looking to do more with her life and tries to escape her poor small town life, and ends up at a hotel or motel where she meets this guy who has just returned home from Afghanistan, who's struggling with PTSD, and that's basically the gist of it. And just knowing that just tugs at my heart already. I wish that they would put a copy of the note to the reader in the finished copy, because reading her letter just really makes you want to read the book even more with an open mind and an open heart, and it's something that I'm definitely going to be picking up really, really soon. And the last book that I received from Macmillan comes from their new imprint called Swoon Reads, and that's The Boy Next Door by Katie Van Ark. Maddie and the boy next door are apparently ice skating partners, and she's been in love with him since the beginning, and he's always just wanted to keep everything platonic because he doesn't want to ruin their professional relationship, including not ruining their friendship. But when their coach assigns a really, really romantic number for them to practice and perform, things get a little heated, and I believe things happen. So it sounds like a really, really good read, and it's being released in February 2015, so it's just perfect for Valentine's Day. The next book that I received comes from Bloomsbury. It was completely unexpected, and I did not even know what it was. The typical yellow packaging comes in the mail, and then the book is wrapped in this like silvery kind of plasticky thing, which is kind of a little bit see-through-ish, and all I see is this. And then when you slowly unwrap the book, it turns out that it's a map. And of course, if you haven't guessed yet, the book is The Mime Order, Book 2 to the Bone Season, by Samantha Shannon. This is being released in January. I need to reread The Bone Season before I can get into this. When it's high fantasy books like this, I require maps and all these glossary and everything like that, because there is a glossary in here. I like to reread the book in order to catch up with everything and all the wording and all the special things and stuff, so I am really, really super excited for this. I'm going to reread The Bone Season and read this. It's going to be my Christmas treat. I plan on reading this that week when things are kind of like a little crazy, but not crazy enough to find time to read, so I cannot wait to read this. I'm so excited for it. The next 4 books I received from Harper Teen, and they're all being released in December. The first book is No Place to Fall by J. Robin Brown. This is a contemporary book about a girl named Amber, who is a good girl. She sings in the church choir, she babysits for her nephew, she's got good grades, and so on, and she aspires to be an artist and wants to audition for a prestigious art school, and her best friend's brother wants to help her get better and practice and stuff, and then as their relationship grows, it turns out that Amber starts to question herself and that maybe she isn't such a good girl after all. Seems like one of those coming into their own kind of stories kind of thing, you know, she's this goody-goody and then discovers that there's more to life and then doesn't know which way to go. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Plus I love this cover to pieces. I just love it, so I can't wait to read it. Next book in the pile is called Top 10 Clues You're Clueless by Czukas. This one sounds super funny. It's about a girl named Chloe who is just trying to get by. She works in a supermarket, she has a boyfriend, things are just kind of blah, you know, nothing's going anywhere, nothing's really happening. The next thing she knows, she is on lockdown at her job in the break room with 4 or 5 other of her co-workers, and they're being blamed for stealing $10,000. It's said to be The Breakfast Club meets Empire Records. It's supposed to be funny and romantic, and I'm getting that vibe. It sounds like a really fun book, and I'm really looking forward to it. The next book that I received from Harper Teen is Love and Other Theories by Alexis Bass. It's about a girl and a group of her friends who decide to make up a list of rules to follow so their hearts don't get broken. And some of the main rules is don't be needy and don't give your heart away. And the number 1 rule is do not fall in love. And then of course, a new boy has to move into town, and he is super sweet and super thoughtful, and she can't stop thinking about him, and it seems like she may be thinking about breaking the rules. The last book that Harper Teen sent is the last book in the Starling trilogy. It's called Transcendent by Lesley Livingston. I have not read this trilogy, and unfortunately I don't really have the time to get into a trilogy right now, so I'm probably going to be looking for a blogger who has at least reviewed the first book or two to see if they want the last book to it. I'm not even sure what it's about. I don't even want to read the synopsis because I don't want it to intrigue me, because right now I'm on a kind of sort of book buying band, and I just don't have the time to get into another one. So this book will definitely be going up on Twitter probably sometime next week as a giveaway to any blogger who would like to review it. I also received a book from the Novl, which is Little Brown, and it is The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. This is being released in January. I'm super excited that I received an advanced reader copy ahead of time to read it. I am dying to read it. Obviously it's about fairies, and it's Holly Black, and it's just going to be a whole lot of goodness in here. And this is definitely going into my TBR from November. And then the last thing that I received is a gift from my secret sister. Her name is Daphne. I'll link her down below. She sent me a cute little October package. First, she sent me this cute little pumpkin card, and she sent me some really, really yummy treats. She also included this gorgeous, gorgeous scarf, and it just goes with everything, and I love scarves, and this is just absolutely perfect. I love it so much. And she also sent me a really, really beautiful book. It's called Bitter Greens by Kate Forsyth. I've heard of the author before, but I've never read anything about her. This is an adult novel, and it's actually about Rapunzel, but it's not a retelling per se. For lack of better words, it says here, the amazing power and truth of the Rapunzel fairy tale comes alive for the first time in this breathtaking tale of desire, black magic, and the redemption power of love. So Charlotte Rose de la Force was banished by the court of Versailles after a series of love affairs. And at the convent that she goes to, an old nun, Seraphina, tells her the tale of a young girl who, 100 years earlier, was sold by her parents for a handful of bitter greens. And it goes on to tell the beginnings of Rapunzel's story. Rapunzel's real name, the person who wrote the story. It sounds a little confusing, but it's about Rapunzel, and it's an adult fairy tale book, and I'm in love already. So I'm definitely adding this to my November TBR too. And that's it for this haul so far. Stay tuned for part 3. I'll link to part 1 down below too. And thanks so much for watching, guys. Please leave down your links and names below. I like to visit you guys too. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, follow, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.